Hi, this is Stacia. And we're gonna take a look at a training game. I'm going for 1800. So last game I secured a win against a rather dubious opening. This game I also had a Smith-Morra Gambit, but against a higher rated opponent. So let's take a look at this one. So Sicilian Defense and a Smith-Morra Gambit. And they played knight c6, that's normal. Thought I had the engine off. Okay, there we go. All right, that's a normal move, developing my knight. d6, bishop to c4, e6, creating the Scheveningen pawn structure. So that means that I should go for the queen e2, rook d1 plan. First, you have to castle to do that. Bishop e7, queen e2, knight f6. Yeah, and I don't think that I can go e5 yet. I think that's premature. So rook d1 first. Now e5 has more of a threat now that the pawn's pinned. Yeah, and here he surprised me and castled. I don't know that this is a good move, but I think it might be playable. So I think normally they go e5 here. So I'm now going to check the opening book. They do go e5. Yeah, castles is good for black. Oh wait, good for black. Well, let me put it this way. There's 4 games in the database and black won 3 of them, which is very weird. I don't think this is a good move. It's risky. Like, I can go e5 now, which I did. And now my understanding is the only good move is knight e8. And I had a game in this line in the women's championship this year. The World Open women's championship, that is. And it was a pretty interesting game. I think I took and the knight came back, and it was pretty interesting. Actually, that's not what happened. I think I took and they went bishop takes. Yeah, this is what happened in the game. And then I went like bishop here, and they played queen c7 or something like this. This isn't right. I go knight b5 here. Well, I guess I can't remember that game. Good reason to go over it again. All right, so, but I know that knight e8 is best. But my opponent played knight d7, which, why can't I just take the pawn? So I took it. They cannot take back. I have a rook guarding that. So bishop f6. Now, I think I've seen this position in blitz games before, but yeah, now my opening knowledge is over. It's time to play chess. Here, I thought I should go knight b5. I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and jump in. That was the idea here. But it seems risky. I was looking for other moves here. I thought if bishop f4, I thought e5 was the answer. But yeah, you know what? Well, why isn't e5 the answer? I thought this would be the problem. Computer says play bishop e3, don't worry about it, because of the d5 square probably. It says they go here. I could simply retreat if I want to. Bishop f5 could be played. Yeah, the b6 knight does guard that square. Bishop f5. Oh, this, yeah, black gets their bishop out. So apparently this position's good for white. Do have this crazy pawn. Now it wants bishop c2. Looking for a trade, I guess. Yeah, this is all very interesting, and I guess white's better here. I do like that we won the pawn back, so I do think white's slightly better. But computer says plus 1.6. Okay, it's news to me. Instead of that, I went knight to b5, and I'm just going to occupy a square deep in the black position. But it's risky. If anything happens to this pawn, then maybe that knight it will be stranded. So he did play here. Computer says I should take that knight. I jumped in. He played here. And now I thought I could take the knight or I could take the rook. Now the computer says only one of them is good. So if you want to pause your video and see which one you think, go ahead and do so now. Yeah, I thought if I take the knight, that's all well and good, but then rook b8. I can't get the rook. Turns out that was correct. Instead, I took the rook, but I missed the next move, and this equalizes black, and that's backwards knight move. I did not see that the knight was attacking the pawn. I honestly didn't see it. So pretty sad, you know, and this has been a blind spot. Let me caution you guys too. It's a blind spot for me. When a piece captures something, look at every single thing that it's attacking. Because here, I totally missed this one. I missed that it's attacking the pawn. So after this, he does have this move. I think that's a good move. Now, it's still interesting though. The knight is actually pinned. And I would say, you know, I have bishop f4 coming, which is what I played. Computer wants bishop e3. Okay, I was taught attack the pinned piece. Not only that, but I'm x-raying an escape score for the knight. So I don't know what is so good about bishop e3. Maybe we have time for this. Like, I'm just wondering, like, I guess if bishop d7, oh, there is no bishop d7, that's why. Yeah, because I was thinking bishop d7, you know. But then rook takes knight. And that probably wins, because if you take, you can't do that, so. Okay. So bishop d7 is a no-no. Yeah, so to see bishop e3, you have to see that bishop d7 is not happening. But okay, this move is okay too. It's just not as precise. And here, I expected e5, but I thought I could take it. This knight is pinned after all. So there's only 2 pieces supporting that, and I have 3 guarding it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 guarding it. This one doesn't count. But you also have to consider rook e8, pinning my piece. But I did that, and I thought here I could take. Okay, that is the best move. So, okay. Mark your calendars. I calculated something right. Sorry, I've always been self-deprecating. I can't help it. Okay. Knight takes. He played bishop takes. I played bishop takes. Rook e8 as expected. And here I thought I could take the knight anyway, maybe with a rook. Computer likes different moves. So what's wrong with this? Let's see. I took. Queen takes. Bishop takes. Rook takes. I thought this was kind of good because my bishop is going to rescue my knight. But I guess what I didn't realize is that my pieces are placed very poorly compared to the black pieces. So, like, this rook is very active. And my knight's in the corner, my rook's in the corner. So, and I'm not up a pawn, so black must be slightly better here, if not a lot better. Computer does say slightly. So, you know, I do have to remember to evaluate better after my calculation. And to do that, I need to improve my visualization. Because here, the computer suggests 2 moves. Queen d2, which I like a lot. Queen d2 is cool. You play queen d2, you're hitting the knight. How is that so much better, though? Like, what if black trades? And this is the answer. Oh. Maybe it's knight. You cannot go here and stop the knight from coming out because of check. That's kind of funny. Bishop g4. That attacks my knight. Computer just wants h3, but I would definitely play here. I guess h3 is okay too. Yeah, and I'm getting out with tempo. It's hard to see why white's winning though. Why on earth would white be winning? It says rook c8. Yeah, that makes sense. And then it wants b3, taking advantage of the back rank issue. Because that's checkmate. So, yeah, I mean, the computer's so sure white's winning here. Yeah, if any of you stronger players can comment on this, please do so. Why is white winning? Because it looks like a chess position to me. And that's about it. Maybe f3 is coming with tempo, and that's part of the reason. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Well, I do have a lot to learn about chess, there's no doubt. So part of the reason I didn't go for that is because I thought this was fine. But my position is worse here. Yeah, and now I had to play the daring move b3. It is best. I calculated as much because if I don't play b3, I'm losing my pawn. Don't want to be a pawn down here. So b3. He played h6, also avoiding the back rank issues. And now I went king f1. Okay. I think king f1 or knight c7 are good. Computer agrees. Yeah, I had to be careful though. Like, could the rook go somewhere threatening? Because if it does, then I'm in trouble. But I thought if it attacks my bishop, which he did, I can go bishop f4, counter threat. I'm still guarding the escape square, and I'm attacking the rook, and maybe the bishop will land on the e3 square, which is a fairly nice outpost. He went here. Okay, I think it's time to get my knight out, so I did that. And now he did play the move I was most afraid of. Knight b4. The computer is not that impressed. Oh, it's changing its mind. Bishop f5 it liked. Okay, but knight b4. My pawn's under attack. Yeah, and in these types of endings, I mean, going down a pawn is bad. You do not want to go down a pawn. I feel like once you go down a pawn, then your opponent can make moves just to trade pieces. Because in a king and pawn ending, I'd be losing. So I think it's really important to keep your pawns. Yeah, I played knight b5. That's the best move. It's a counter threat on his pawn. I did see this might happen, but I'd go here. I'm attacking the bishop now. Okay, the bishop attacks the b3 square. So now if I push, he could potentially take. So I did it anyway. Is that the best move? Let's see. Computer likes knight takes b7 better. Yeah, why didn't I do that? It only likes it better slightly though. I went here. The knight moved. So I had to save my bishop. b5. Yeah, and I could go a4. I could go b4. I chose a4 though because these pawns are on light squares. So I cannot attack them on light squares. But if I go here, I'm threatening takes, and take with the knight. And if he trades, I thought that would be okay. But the computer doesn't like it so much. It says b4 is a good move. b4. Yeah, so anytime you play a pawn break, you should ask yourself, what happens if they take? What happens if they push past? What happens if they do nothing? So in this case, if they take, I was comfortable, and if I do nothing, if they do nothing, I'm pretty happy with that too. Although maybe this is an option. But turns out this move is good. Can't totally tell you why though. It looks risky. Like I have a dark square bishop, so putting this pawn on a dark square and maybe this pawn on a dark square, I mean, I could just see the bishop coming. So I don't know why the computer wants that one. But okay. He attacked my pawn. And I played this move. So what was the idea here? Yeah, the idea with rook b1 is I'm going to check the king. He's going to have to leave the defense of this pawn, and then I'm going to take it. But in hindsight, I'm giving up an outside pass pawn. Or rather, black gains an outside pass pawn, and I only gain this. The computer still believes in this, but I'm not so happy with this decision. What could I do instead? I could go a5, it says. Oh, I actually like a5 a lot because that allows to move bishop b6. And then I have a nice little construction, you know? That would at least be more drawish because I did feel black was maybe slightly better here. Okay, but I played actively instead. Okay, taking that pawn. Now, instead of me having the construction, black has it. Yeah, and not only that, but he's lined up with my king, so he has discoveries. I played this move. I was hoping he would mess up and like try a discovery and I would just take the bishop. That'd be kind of funny. But that didn't happen. He played here, guarding it. Okay, I gotta take that bishop. Computer likes white slightly, which is surprising to me. Okay, I take. Yeah, and this ending is quite interesting. Now, I would think that it's equal, is what I would think. The reason is white has a bishop, which can cover both sides of the board, and black has a knight, but, I mean, otherwise it's equal. Material is equal, so the question is, what is the right plan? Like, should I just park my bishop in a way that it takes care of the outside pawn and then play normal? Probably that's the case. Or should I have my king march up and win this pawn? You know, because the knight will never guard that by itself. So I went for that plan. Of course, I only had a minute left, as you can see. So let's see what happens. Knight to e5. King d2. I'm going to go get that pawn. But then here I started to realize that maybe my plan wasn't so good, because I'm sort of abandoning my kingside pawns. And if black wins even one of them, I'm probably losing. Brought his king up. I actually was afraid of this move though, because, well, I guess here I could go h3. I mean, he's forking a lot of stuff. So I could go h3, and if he takes, I mean, it's scary, right? Like, I cannot let that go. But it says I must. And you have to use the square of the pawn rule. Even still, this is awfully scary. I mean, really? Like, what if this? Or what if he just brings his king up? How could this possibly be a draw? It looks winning for black to me. I guess I can play f4. Maybe I'm going to do this and lock the king out. It says king c4. I'm still keeping him out. I mean, if I was black, I would do this and come in. So this position is a draw. I'm up a pawn, but my king's worse. A whole pawn worse. So it's a draw. Very interesting. Oh, I think I get why. Because, like, the black king can never come here. Well, okay, never mind. Like, oftentimes there's an idea where if the black king comes here, you push. But in this case, there's other pawns involved. So I'm honestly not sure. Let's just follow the engine. Like, I'm going to go try to win the pawn. Let's see what happens. It says king d4. Okay. I'm going to go win the pawn. It says king e4. And king f3. Wow. So we're just going to shoulder the king to the edge of the board. And this is a draw. This is kind of a new idea for me. Okay. Sorry if I dive too deep sometimes, you guys. But let me know in the comments if you like that or if you hate it, because I can make adjustments. Okay. Let's go back now. The whole point of doing this, though, is that I want to learn and improve. Okay. Yeah, I actually think this move by him is quite good. He's going to take the bishop now. That gives him a passed pawn. Computer says king e2. Take with the king. Yeah, and now spoiler alert, I do lose this. And I think it's because, well, let's see. My plan to go win the pawn doesn't work. Yeah, this is not good. If I go here, he goes here. If I take, he goes here. And now I'm lost. He's going to eat all my pawns. So where do things go wrong? After this move, computer says it's still a draw. I have to go king d3. So had I done this and he takes, I take with a king, only move. So it's just so counterintuitive to me. So maybe what we're doing is keeping our pawns connected so they can control out of squares. Okay, So if black runs now, I have to go stop it, right? I mean, maybe not yet. No, computer says yes. Okay, I would do this if I was black. I guess here it's hard for black to get in, huh? I don't know. Let's go here. Computer says king c4. Okay, I'll go here. I mean, I gotta take, right? I would go here. It says king c5. Go here. f4. King f2, checking another pawn. Now it says king d6. So we're going to let him take, but I'm going to go take too. See, I think it's important to analyze lines like this because you need to see these lines in your head in chess. Like, you need to see this coming. So we need to understand what's going on here. G5 is good for black now, though. Yeah, wow, okay. Sorry I went out of that, but I think I learned something from it. Okay. Yeah, in the game, I tried this. It looked very interesting still. But the fact of the matter is he has a passed pawn on the outside. So eventually my king is going to have to spend time and go get that pawn. Yeah, like right now. I have no other useful move here. I guess I could go h4, g4. But I did this and king e5 wins. Yeah, let's try this move. I mean, if this, doesn't that win? It absolutely wins. So I was right. So tough loss. Let's just review what happened this game. Okay, I got my early e5 in, and here I have to play bishop f4 or bishop d3. Okay. I went for this instead. But the thing that I really missed was that after knight takes bishop, he is attacking the pawn. You know, that is, he's going to win the pawn back. So I think that was a big mistake. I mean, computer is still saying everything's fine and white's better, but I mean, I had a winning advantage and I let it go, so okay, this part went okay. But rook takes knight is wrong. I have to play queen d2 here or queen d3. Yeah, not allowing the you know what, because then the rook lands on e5 instead of e2. That's important. We do not want black to have a more active position. But the way I traded down, black's pieces are active and mine aren't. So black's slightly better. Yeah, and this ending, I'm fairly happy with how I played the ending, but until, yeah, I was happy with all of this, but this part, yeah, I think I might study this more because perhaps I should do the other plan and have the bishop just guard this pawn and just march my king up on the king side and push my majority. I think that's the right way to go. And that's what I'll do next time. So I hope you guys learned something with me, and I'll be back with more chess. Okay, bye.